What if a police chase put an elderly woman's life at risk? What if they refused to admit their mistake? In Colorado, 80-year-old Edith Harper faced a terrifying ordeal. But her family and community brought her hope. Stay tuned for a story of fragile health, betrayal, and a tearful reunion. In the serene suburb of Pineview Heights, Colorado, the air was crisp and cool. The scent of pine trees filled the morning breeze. Here, Edith Harper had lived for over 4 decades. She was an 80-year-old widow with a fragile heart. Edith had bought her $280,000 cabin-style home with her late husband in 1978. It was a cozy retreat in her twilight years. On the chilly morning of July 20th, 2028, Edith walked to her mailbox. She held a small plastic case, her heart medication. Edith had a weak heart, and the pills were her lifeline. She hummed softly, thinking of her granddaughter, Lily. Lily lived in California but called every week. "Grandma, I miss you," Lily would say. Edith smiled at the thought. Her slippers scuffed on the pavement. The sound of a distant stream gurgled in the background. Pineview Heights was a quiet neighborhood, but that morning, chaos erupted. A police chase tore through the streets. They were pursuing a robber who had hit a local store. Sirens wailed loudly. Tires screeched on the icy pavement. Edith turned, startled. Her hands trembled as she clutched the medication case. A police cruiser sped toward her. It swerved to cut off the robber's car. The cruiser skidded across the street. An officer jumped out, chasing the suspect on foot. In the chaos, he bumped into Edith. The impact knocked the medication case from her hands. It fell to the ground. With a clatter, pills scattered across the pavement. Edith gasped and bent to pick them up. Her chest tightened painfully. The officer, 36-year-old Daniel Foster, glanced back at Edith. She was clutching her chest, her face pale. "Ma'am, are you okay?" he asked. His voice was hurried. Edith's voice trembled. "My pills. I need them for my heart," she gasped. Her breathing grew shallow. The pain in her chest worsened. She collapsed to her knees. The scattered pills lay around her. Foster radioed for backup. The static crackled as he spoke. "We've got a civilian down. Send an ambulance," he said. His tone was tense. The robber was caught nearby. Neighbors rushed out of their homes. They gasped at the sight of Edith on the ground. Some knelt beside her. Her breaths were ragged. The pain overwhelmed her. The ambulance arrived quickly. Paramedics lifted Edith onto a stretcher. Her face was pale, her hands shaking. "She's having a heart episode," one paramedic said. His voice was urgent. Edith's thoughts were on Lily. "I won't hear her voice again," she whispered. Her voice broke. She was rushed to the hospital. The scattered pills remained on the pavement. At the hospital, Edith lay in the ICU. Her heart was stabilized, but she was weak. The doctors replaced her medication. But Edith's heart ached for more than her health. She thought of Lily's weekly calls. "Grandma, tell me about Grandpa," Lily would ask. Edith lived for those calls. Now she feared she'd never hear Lily's voice again. Tears rolled down her cheeks. The beeping of the heart monitor echoed her fear. Back in Pineview Heights, the Homeowners Association took action. The HOA president, 47-year-old Karen Mitchell, had known Edith for years. Karen's daughter often sent Edith cookies. A neighbor's security camera had captured the incident. The footage showed the officer knocking the medication case from Edith's hands. It showed her collapse in pain. But Officer Foster denied responsibility. She dropped the case herself, he claimed. His voice was cold. "We didn't cause her episode." Karen's blood boiled. She held the camera footage tightly. "Edith could have died," she said to the HOA board. Her voice was fierce. "She doesn't deserve this fear." The board agreed to fight for Edith. They hired a lawyer to sue the police department. The rustle of legal documents filled their meeting room. Edith's struggle became their cause. The community would not let her suffer alone. The trial took place in a local courthouse. Residents packed the gallery. Their footsteps echoed on the wooden floor. Edith sat in a wheelchair, an oxygen tube in her nose. Her eyes were tired but determined. The lawyer played the camera footage. The video filled the screen. It showed the officer knocking the case from Edith's hands. It showed her collapse in agony. Murmurs of shock filled the courtroom. The evidence was clear. Officer Foster took the stand. He shifted nervously. I didn't touch her. He lied. His voice wavered. The judge's gaze was sharp. The footage contradicts your statement, she said. Her tone was firm. The lawyer pressed further. You saw Mrs. Harper collapse. Why didn't you take responsibility? He asked. Foster hesitated. I was focused on the suspect, he said. The courtroom buzzed with disbelief. Edith spoke next. Her voice trembled as she gripped the wheelchair. Those pills keep me alive, for my Lily, she said. Tears streamed down her face. She's all I have left. Her voice keeps me going. She held up a photo of Lily, smiling brightly. I thought I'd never hear her again. The courtroom fell silent. Jurors dabbed their eyes. Karen squeezed Edith's hand. The judge delivered her verdict. Her gavel slammed down with a resounding thud. Officer Foster, you are guilty of reckless endangerment, she declared. Her voice boomed. You endangered a life and lied about it. Foster was forced to admit his guilt. He was fired from the police force. The department was ordered to pay Edith $7,000 in damages. The courtroom erupted in cheers. Edith's neighbors clapped for her. Edith returned home after weeks in the hospital. Her heart was still fragile, but she was alive. She sat on her porch, staring at the spot where she had fallen. The memory of that day made her chest tighten. Karen had a surprise for her. A car pulled up, and Lily stepped out. Grandma! She cried. Her voice was bright. Lily had flown from California to stay with Edith for a month. Edith's eyes filled with tears. She reached for Lily, her oxygen, tube trailing. My sweet girl, she whispered. Her voice broke. Lily hugged her tightly. I'm here, Grandma, she said. Her voice was warm. They sat on the porch together. Lily read stories to Edith, her voice a soothing melody. Edith smiled, her heart full. The community had given her more than justice. The neighbors visited often. They brought flowers and cards for Edith. You're our hero, Karen said. Her voice was kind. They replaced Edith's medication case with a new one. It had a small engraving, Lily's name. Edith held it close. I'll never lose you again, she whispered to the case. Pineview Heights became a symbol of love and justice. Edith listened to Lily's laughter. The warmth of her family healed her heart. And so a scattered case of pills became a battle for justice in Pineview Heights, Colorado. Edith Harper found peace through her family's love. How would you protect a loved one's health? What do you think? Should communities always stand up for the vulnerable? Share your thoughts. Join us next time for another tale of justice. Until then, keep standing up for what's right. Thank you for listening.